towers that many fans are dreaming of, but the Empire Pool instead. Because in May, Wembley will host ice hockey's national playoffs, and the Durham Wasps believe it could be the setting for the most glorious triumph in their history. The Wasps already have the National Knockout Cup on their sideboard, and they're currently second in the Premier Division with games in hand. Well, last night, Durham were at home to Streatham Redskins, and as Roger Thames found out, it isn't just the home club that's on the up. The sport of ice hockey itself is reveling in a...
Like I say, everybody's coming in here to beat us. We have the unbeaten record, everyone knows it. Hey, we have a chance to win the league, we all know that. Hey, tonight's the night, Stratham's in here, we gotta be prepared. Okay?
10 minutes to face off, and Durham Wasps coach Paul Tilley is winding up his big blue machine.
If we get on them here, they're gonna be throwing it all night, and the game will be ours from the start. If we're lax out there to start and we don't get into the game, we let them in the game, then they're gonna be there for 60 minutes.
Nobody seems sure why Durham became known as the Wasps. One thing's for certain, though, these Wasps are the deadliest the club has ever produced. Last night's opponents, Streatham Redskins, are the next strongest English club to the home side. But these days, when Durham take to the ice, their fanatical fans regard victory as inevitable. The city of Durham has always been a stronghold for ice hockey, even during the sport's many lean years. Now the Cathedral Rink has the team to match its enthusiasm. They haven't lost a home game for more than a year in a 32-match unbeaten run. Now they sit 2 points behind league leaders Fife Flyers, but with 3 games in hand. Club officials are already making a space for the League Championship trophy to sit alongside the Blue Coal Cup they've already won. Coach Paul Tilley has been delighted with the progress made in the past 2 seasons, not just by Durham, but by the whole of British ice hockey.
I think since last year when I came to England, ice hockey has improved a great deal. I think because of the fact that maybe the coaching that has come into it with each team, defensively the game's getting a lot tighter, so therefore they aren't double-figure games such as 15-10. Now they're a more competitive game, 7-5, 5-3, and I think overall for the spectator that keeps them involved a little more also.
The Wasps themselves have improved tremendously as well in the last 2 years. What do you think's turned them suddenly into a championship potential team?
Last year they started on their way to turn it into a championship team. You need the home base players, the English players, to be big contributors, and I think that's what we're getting out of the Durham team. And we're not trying to isolate that the imports are the players here. We're all one family. We're all on the same level. We're all here to do one thing, and that's to win. They have a lot of pride, the players. Defensively, we're starting to become a well-balanced defensive team. If you look at our goals against in the league, we have the best now. That starts with the goaltender and the defense, and we've been working hard. Strength-wise, it's the overall learning capacity of the players, I think, so far. They're starting to comprehend what we're trying to teach them, and it's making some sense, and they're being more disciplined in their play. And I think right now that is one of the strongest factors that is making the Durham Wasps a big contender.
Tilley is one of the 3 overseas players each club is allowed. From Ontario in Canada, he won a hockey scholarship to Ohio State University. It was Tilley's contacts that brought his 2 fellow Canadians to the northeast. The imports are the only paid professionals in British ice hockey. The home talent still combine playing with a full-time job, while the pros are left with time to spare. It means the city's squash club has become as familiar a refuge for Durham's ice hockey stars as the rink itself. Jamie Crapper and Mike O'Connor have both taken to the very English game of squash as a means of keeping fit as well as filling in time between late-night training. 25-year-old Crapper was at college with his coach and is in his 2nd season in the northeast. O'Connor is 23 and new to the region this year. The club pays for them to come to England, gives them a house and an allowance, though they won't get rich from their sport. Boredom is their only real problem.
I played a lot of racquetball at home and kept fit that way. But if you don't change with the sports here, then you really have nothing to do. And squash is the mainstay as far as racket sports here. So,
Do you have quite a lot of spare time then? Too much spare time almost?
Actually, we do. At the beginning of the year, Mike O'Connor and I had a part-time job, just for something to do during the day. So we, split up a work week, and, we did that for a couple months until we, you get kind of bored of it, I guess, and then it kind of takes a toll on your hockey as well, because, that's the main purpose we're here, is to, play hockey and not really find other jobs.
Knowledge of the British ice hockey scene is fairly limited on the other side of the Atlantic. Mike O'Connor's awareness of Durham before he stepped off the plane was confined to the castle and the cathedral.
tell you the truth, I didn't even know what the name of the team was, you know, the Wasps, but I talked to Paul Tilley a lot over the summer, and I was convinced that it'd be a fun place to play.
And what is it like playing here then?
I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you it was anything short of great. You know, the fans are great. There's an expression, you know, you walk in the Durham ice rink and you smell hockey there. It's a hockey town.
Despite Durham's great traditions and its recent achievements in becoming English champions for the past 2 seasons, it still couldn't break through the Scottish stranglehold on the major trophies. But the Blue Coal Cup and a hat-trick from Jamie Crapper finally laid the Scottish ghost.
And here is Crapper. And it's there. The light is on. Well, the rafters ring here at Streatham as veteran skipper Peter Johnson comes forward to collect the trophy from Mr. Martin Bell, general manager of Lucas.
How important was winning the Blue Coal Cup to the team?
Well, I think it was great. Last year, we were always just about there. We were always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And this year, the Blue Coal Cup, I think, gave the players and the team a lot of confidence after winning that game against Fife. And we've been seemingly on a roll since then.
Durham's longer-term future is in the hands of its Pee-wee teams, the Mosquitoes and the Midges. Ice hockey can't make the mistake of relying on importing all the good players. Football in the States proved how short-term that policy can be. But in the meantime, the gap is still there.
It's a little bit unfair to try and compare, you know, the two types of hockey, you know, the Canadian and the English. But having said that, the competitiveness here is unbelievable. You know, there's always that will to win. I mean, everybody is really competitive that way. And as Jamie had mentioned before, the standard of hockey is, since I've been here in September, I imagine over the last few years has really improved. So I think hockey is really making a comeback here in England.
Whatever the gulf between English and Canadians, the difference between Durham and Streatham was undeniable. 4 goals in the second period put the Wasps into an unassailable 7-2 lead. When leading scorer Jamie Crapper added number 8, it was his 4th of the night. The crowds are back at ice hockey, with Durham's home average topping 3,000. The emergence of a genuine national league from the previous mess of different associations and competitions has been the vital breakthrough. The brewers of lager, who've poured £130,000 into the sport, have refreshed the parts of ice hockey others couldn't reach.
Well, I think the Heineken sponsorship has allowed us to spend money to improve in the directions that we have. And I think those improvements will be the catalyst for attracting more money at club level.
The top 6 teams in the league will meet each other again to decide who makes the final playoffs at Wembley. It's this climax to the season that will decide the national champions. With the cup already won and the league in their sights, the Wasps will only be satisfied with a Grand Slam treble.
Certainly at this point it is realistic. From here on in, every game's going to be a tough game because everyone's going to be coming to beat us. Hopefully right now we just take one game at a time, and that will give us the league championship, which Durham has never had, I understand. And